Welcome in, my friends. Welcome in. Bitcoin coming in at 96,870, up a nice $2,000 today. I'm Jason, founder creator of the TCP Supersystem, bringing to you our alerts on a daily basis for free from a system that I've built over the course of 2 to 3 years that does a remarkable job of identifying areas of opportunity that present the ability to create alpha returns. And that's what we do, and we want to share it with our community. So we please ask that you like, share, subscribe. It will make sure that we can keep it free. A couple things. Again, we don't have the socials on the left side today, so just go out to the YouTube. You can search TCP Supersystem. You'll find us, or Trim Capital Partners. You'll find us. Um, and like I said, like, share, subscribe. Help us keep it free. Got fiat leak in the bottom right. That's the Bitcoin volumes around the world right now. But we're going to look at a couple things. Bitcoin, maybe XRP again. And we got a couple of alerts we want to share that just came in this afternoon. So, if you go back and look at the Bitcoin video we just put out yesterday, we were talking about where we were trading at, because I think it was a little bit less than this, a couple thousand less, and we said we would not be surprised, looking at our mean reversion data up here at the top, if we saw a spike, and then that would keep the orange and blue up here in these extremes. And as long as it trends up above this red zone, looking good for Bitcoin. Because we also mentioned our hot sensors were all three above the midline and all white. So that's not any kind of, essentially it's saying it's in a normalized trading zone, not over exhausted in any direction. So fantastic. We're in the uptrend, highlighted by that green cloud, and our moving averages here are serving as support. So we're looking pretty healthy. Again, we're going to look at some new, actually, we'll go ahead and do that. So we're going to go over to our LinkedIn page for Trim Capital Partners, and we're going to show you a couple things that we shared today that we thought was relevant. Um, you can decide for yourself, because, as we always say, not financial advice, just sharing our system indicators, opinions to help you identify those areas that can create opportunity. We are not financial advisors. So, obviously, one good thing here is in about 3 weeks, we're 3 weeks out from the Bitcoin conference. Some big things should be happening down there in Las Vegas, May 27th to 29th. So, what's that? 21 days. Let's see, Cointelegraph little video here. We'll actually watch this. It's pretty short. It's talking about CZ thinks Bitcoin can top between 500,000 to 1 million this cycle. Um, this cycle, if we're lucky, runs until what? First quarter of next year, second quarter maybe. Now that's if we don't think we have a super cycle because of all the institutional adoption, ETFs, etc. So we may never get pullbacks like we had before. If you're not familiar with the 4-year cycle, I would urge you to check that out. There's, you shouldn't have a problem finding it, but yeah, 500,000 to 1 million would be a very beautiful thing. It would certainly change a lot of people's lives, and who knows, you may never see me again. So we'll see if we can get there. I would be pretty happy with 150,000 to 200,000, but why not shoot for the moon, baby? All right, Cointelegraph again. Total value of tokenized real-world assets have surpassed 22 billion, up 10% over the past 30 days. Now it's talking about Ethereum leads, followed by ZK Sync. And we actually put out a video about zero proof knowledge and those types of things. So check that out too. Um, let's see, Bitcoin Magazine. This is relevant. So Governor Kelly Ayotte of New Hampshire signs a bill allowing the state to invest in Bitcoin. And that's to buy Bitcoin with up to 5% of total state funds. One little state, ladies and gentlemen. And do you honestly believe they're not going to be stacking this for future? There's not much Bitcoin to go around. States are going to be fighting over it. ETFs are fighting over it. Governments are fighting over it. Retail's fighting over it. If you have one little Bitcoin, you're in a class of your own. That's what I'll say. But I know nothing. Just a bald guy on the internet. All right, let's see. Bitcoin Magazine. Coinbase releases a new Bitcoin commercial. Let's check this out real fast.
Fed prints on it. If a Bitcoin was the size of a quarter, all 21 million of them would fit inside a single shipping container. But to fit the dollars the Fed prints on average every day, you'd need 72 shipping containers. Each year, you'd need 26,280 containers.
Good gracious.
And to fit what they've printed in the last decade, well, you'd need a lot more than that.
Essentially saying you're switching fiat paper money that you can manipulate, print into oblivion, into a hard asset that you can't manipulate. It's the same as real estate, same as gold, same as precious metals. Fiat currencies around the world will always be pressured to the downside with printing. As in the US, we're printing just to pay interest. So just keep that in mind. And you got something here. Yes, there's 21 million Bitcoin, but there won't be 21 million Bitcoin available in circulation because 4 to 5 million are lost. And you have people like Michael Saylor, Metaplanet, Strategy, Tesla even. I mean, all these corporations are going to be stacking it on their treasuries for their, for their treasury strategies. I would be surprised if you would say there's 10 million available in circulation. And a lot of those are being taken off exchanges to cold storage. So good luck. What do you know? Great timing. Strategy adds 1,895 Bitcoin to its holdings for $183 million, an average of 95,167 per Bitcoin. That's a day ago. When you have people like Michael Saylor, MIT, that know what the hell they're doing, and they're buying this much at 95,000, do you really think this thing is going down to zero? No. Let's see if there's anything else relevant. This is a week ago. Did we already see that one? I don't think we have. Let's check this out real quick.
One that everyone has agreed. Clarity, that's the key word here. Regulations, taxes, all of those things. Are we getting closer to that?
Well, I think Bitcoin's always been the most clear asset, right? It is the one that everyone has agreed is not a security, it's a commodity. I do think there are still things that can be done. The single most important thing in my mind was the United States saying we're going to set up the strategic Bitcoin reserve. I think people are drastically underestimating how maniacal they are going to be about buying Bitcoin. Massive. Everyone thinks it's cute that they put 200,000 Bitcoin over here and now we have this reserve. They are going to continue to buy Bitcoin and they're going to buy as much as they possibly can because there's a global race going on. Russia, Abu Dhabi, El Salvador, Bhutan, all these other countries are trying to buy Bitcoin. We are going to beat them there. And we now have a president and administration that is fully focused on that. And so,
ladies and gentlemen, if you do your research, it's right here in front of you. Yet, I don't know what percent, but 95 to 98% of people will miss out on this. The true transformation of the financial system that you may see once in a generation, once in a lifetime, 100 years. And you had a chance to be in at the ground level. And yes, Bitcoin at 84,000 isn't the ground level, but it is in the large scheme of things. If you think about it, we're still way early. Most corporations haven't been in yet. Most governments aren't in yet. So, I mean, you're still significant opportunities. But it may or may not be right for your strategies, but we continue to accumulate whenever possible. We do not sell our Bitcoin. All right. So let's go back to the charts. So I already went over Bitcoin, looking healthy again. That mean reversion looks like we nailed it again yesterday with the hot sensor support. Of course, we got to look at XRP because we thought, we might be seeing a little bit of downside pressure with that potential trend reversal based on our video yesterday. So nothing's really materializing yet. Looks like we may have bounced off that 200-day average there. Let's see if we can spread that out a little bit. Yeah. So we'll see where we go. It could still go either way, so be careful there. But we like XRP, so let's go ahead and look at our alerts, because this is what we do on a daily basis. So you will see we got 3 potential trend reversals to the upside for Stacks, Doge, Cardano. And I'll be honest, until you tell me in the comments that you want me to cover Stacks and Doge, I may look at Doge, but I could care less about those two. Cardano, I care about a lot. I've got friends who invested in Cardano. I have positions in Cardano for transparency. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we got. So again, yellow triangle, May 6th, potential trend reversal to the upside at 67 cents and 72. So now we're just barely above that now. So we'll see where we go. I'll say the mean reversion is looking okay. The red line's just underneath that green zone. Blue and orange are above it, so that's good. We want that red to pop to the extremes. If it can pop to the extremes and take the orange and blue lines with it, that would be, we're going higher. Now looking at our hot sensors at the bottom for Cardano, you'll notice that we are on the downside of 2 of them, being the medium term and long term. We do have a worsening color scheme, so these are kind of contradicting each other just a little bit. Now it's not an extreme price action here. We're on the upside on the short term, so again, this thing could be a little choppy here, so be careful. That's why we never trade on just the yellow triangles or yellow labels. We always say 1 to 3 days, because you could get this garbage right here. And if you don't have confirmation, which we do not on these 2 other signals, then it's just not the right time for us. That's how we use it. You can look at this and make your own decisions. And Doge, we'll look at Doge and then we'll just call it a day. There's our Doge doggy. So this one actually already got worse. So you'll notice potential upside reversal signal at 17,234. And we are at 17,270. But our signal has gone away due to whatever price action occurred in here. It just made the trigger. It didn't satisfy the trigger. So that's garbage anyway. That's why we don't even like showing the meme coins. And we don't even care about stacks. So we'll take that one out. So yeah, so looking at, again, that's Cardano we already talked about. So that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of in this dull zone here, I think leading into the summertime. We'll expect some big things very shortly with the banks all adopting the messaging standards that are out there, which could have a significant impact on those cross-border payment tokens or projects with those types of applications. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to tokenization projects. And of course, anything made in the U.S. from the digital asset stockpile perspective. Those charts are out there that will show you which ones are in the U.S. and which ones are being considered by the administration. It's all the ones we typically follow, the ones that we are loading up on. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, TCP Supersystem here, 2 to 3 years to create this thing. We've refined it. We've tuned it in. It's remarkable for us, I will tell you. It certainly has changed my life, and hopefully some of this stuff can help you learn and identify those areas that we like to take advantage of. But again, you got to make your own decisions for your own strategy and portfolios. But we're just here to share. If you want to engage us, we would love for you to do so. Patreon, YouTube, X. You put anything you want to see in the comments. We will create a video for that, whether it's an equity or a crypto. To do that, you just need to watch the 3 training videos that we put out on YouTube. It's a playlist. It will cover the mean reversion, the main indicator, and the 3 hot sensors at the bottom. Each one of those videos has a number called out. You just need to tell us those 3 numbers, and we will incorporate whatever you request into a video. But those numbers tell us that you've watched the video and that you will be able to engage and understand a little bit about what we're saying and how we're saying it, and that'll be good for the interaction. So please do that, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Thank you.